I'm Ruthie Dahle and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about money, but more specifically, budgeting. How to save money when you have no money to save. And this is the things that I applied to my life and that has helped me save up to things that I really want. Now, the first thing you need to do is go over everything you spend in a month. I know, that's like the dreaded thing everybody says you have to do, but you don't want to do because you kind of want to ignore your account and be like, I'm just going to swipe my card in faith. We can't do that. If you want to buy something or do something that costs money and you have no money for it now and you want to save up for it, you cannot be going around in blind faith. That just won't happen. Like it won't take you to where you want to be. So you go over everything you spend a month. So your bills, your rent or mortgage, phone bills, everything like that, subscriptions, everything needs to be put down on a piece of paper, or you can do it on your computer if that's what you prefer. I use a computer, I use Excel, but sometimes I do all my calculations by hand just because I'm used to it. And then I will do the final, put it on the computer when it's all final and calculated. Now, I usually know exactly how much I spend each month, so I don't have to do any new calculations. I just need to know what I can save according to what more I need to buy that month. So some months I cannot save a lot or nothing at all, and other months I can save a lot. It just depends on what I need that month specifically. Now, when you go over your finances for a whole month, and if you want to get like an average bias, go like use the last 3-4 months, and then you can do an average of that, then you know kind of how much you're going to be spending on certain areas. So I like to group some of the things, so I have every bill like stacked on top of each other, like phone bill, electricity, water bill, all of that. I have that on top of each other because that's the bills, that's what I have to pay. There is no wiggle room there. That's a must. That's where all the money go. And then I have all of my subscriptions in another column, so those are things that I have decided to invest in. That's what I call it, because these are money that I could technically save and spend somewhere else, but I've decided that I want my subscriptions, so that could be my streaming service or anything that I use for editing. All of that, I just keep that in one place so that everything is grouped. So you have the important stuff, then you have your subscriptions, then you have your food. And if you are the kind of person that has no idea how much you're going to be spending for a whole month, take it week by week and then see how much you're spending for week by week, and then see what difference it is in amounts from week to week. If you are about an average on most weeks you're about an average, then you can use that average as your new budget. That could be your budget price. Then you have everything else that you need in life. That could be office supplies, that could be hygiene, health, it could be miscellaneous stuff that you need to buy. All of that is its own column. I like to divide them up into all of those groups so that my medication would go for health, and hygiene, that will be like toothpaste and all of those shampoos, all of that. That's like what I call the hygiene column, because it's things that I need. I can't adjust that. The only thing that is adjustable is the miscellaneous stuff, but it depends on what goes into that group. Now, everything has its own group, so you go through all of the important stuff first, your finances, where your money has to go. So that would be your bills and all of that. And food would be the next important thing, because I think that subscriptions and everything else comes second to that, because it's not necessarily what we need in life, but it's what we need it in life, but it's not as important as, you know, a roof over your head and food. That's like the most important. So I go through that first. I personally don't have that many bills to pay, so there's not a lot going on there. But also with the bills, that's where you put your debt and you're like, whether you use credit cards or you have debt from mortgage or loans or anything like that, you put that in with the bills because it's again something you have to pay. It's important. And then you calculate what you use there, and then you see how much you use for food. But with food, it's a little tricky because do you have to spend that much money on food, or can you spend less? Because the thing is, can you buy something that is off-brand, or can you decide not to go out that often to eat and just cook at home instead? So if you can do like limit your amount that you spend on food without obviously starving yourself, you have to buy what you have to buy. You know, you can't change that. But can you go for something that is a cheaper option, or is it something that you have to buy? But it depends on what your priority is in life. If you want to have a priority in life to like eat everything that is delicious, you don't want to have to think about budgeting that tightly, then go ahead. That is your priority. That is your priority, and that's how you should live. Now, the next thing that I go through is my subscriptions. I note them down. Those are things that I have for joy, so that I keep them there. And I don't have that many subscriptions, so it's not going to be a huge amount going there. And then after that, I have everything that the shopping that I need to do. So like hygiene for me is also the beauty, and then it's the office supplies, all of that. I figure out what I need for each specific month. So that's the one that varies the most, because the food it's set, the bills are set, the subscriptions are set, but the last column is where I can give and take a lot more, because not every month do I need to buy a new foundation, and not every month do I need to buy a new pen, so forth. And if I see something on sale and I can buy more than one, I will definitely do that, so that I can save money in the long run. So definitely look out for things that are on sale, and if you can afford to buy more than one, and you know this is something that you need to buy like every month or every 2 months or something like that, then definitely buy in when it is on sale. That's gonna save you money. Now, when it comes to all of the smaller things, I tend to look for where I can buy the cheapest of what I like. So I have this, I will use makeup as a example here because I am a girl. I'm a girly girl, so so I have this one foundation that I used. It's a drugstore brand. It's nothing fancy. I just love it. But in one store, it costs a lot of money. Like, it's an okay price for like a drugstore brand in Norway, but I think it's overpriced as well. And then it's like $11.70, I think. No, it's $17. It's $17 in a store, and I think that's way overpriced. But in another store, the same one costs $9. You see, there's a big difference. It's the exact same product, it's just a different store. And I'm guessing they buy it for cheaper, that's why they can sell it for cheaper. But yes, so definitely look in different stores where you can get the best bargain. For me, when I buy food, I go to 2 completely different stores to buy it. No, I go to 3 different stores because my flour is from the Asian shop. But I go to 2 different stores because as a member of both stores, they're gonna give me different things, different discounts on different things. So I will go for most of the shopping list. I go to one place and I know I can get a good price on the milk that I need and the eggs for baking and all of that. But the other one, I get better strawberry jam and I get better butter for a better price. So it's like finding out what stores and what membership give you the most. It's not couponing, but if that is what you're into, that is definitely going to save you a lot of money. But it's just finding out where you can get the best deals. It's going to save you a lot of money. And that goes for everything you need to buy. It takes 5 minutes to research. Like, especially in Norway, everything you can find in the supermarkets, you can find online because they have different stores, so you can order there and they can bring it home to you depending on where you live. So you can like look through the prices and then check what fits your budget and what fits your need as well. And then of course there's not I don't have to buy the same thing every month. So like my vitamins, I don't have to buy them every month. My makeup, I don't have to buy them every month. So I try to kind of make sure I have spare so that if I do run out, it's not gonna crack my budget if everything suddenly runs out at the same time, because it does happen. Sometimes everything runs out at the exact same time and there's nothing you can really do about it, so that may be the month where you have like no wiggle room, and that's okay. But look through your budget and where you can save. And the reason why you need a budget is that you can predict the future and your future spending, and then you can mentally be prepared that for what prices you're willing to pay and give to certain areas. And then if you go above that, you're gonna be like, should I? You might still, but you get that feeling like, should I? Now, for saving until like when you have like no money, you have all of the income you have goes to either the bills, the food, the subscriptions, and everything else, and you have like, you feel like you have no wiggle room like whatsoever. I think the most important thing to ask yourself is, what is a priority in your life? What is the one thing you want the most? If it is delicious food that you want most, then more money should go into that, whatever you have left over. But if you want to use money on experiences or new things that you want to buy, then that's where your focus should be when it comes to saving money. So for me, I have decided that the food is not that important because I eat and I'm healthy and all of that. It doesn't have to be anything super fantastic. I want it to be, but it's the sacrifice I can make. It doesn't have to be like 5 stars food every day. I am fine with eating boring food. I am definitely fine with that. If that is going to give me, saving money from that is going to give me an experience I want to have, or me be able to buy something else that I really want, I am definitely willing to do that sacrifice. And that is a choice you have to make yourself. The one thing that I do if I really want to save for something that I really want, that is when I go to the store and I buy everything that I need to buy for the food and for everything else. I keep my phone with me to calculate. I put in every single amount that I have used into my calculator and I add it up. And then I have written on a note or mentally the amount I cannot go above. So I cannot go above that. So if there is still something I need to buy, I can't buy it because I give myself that limit. So that's why I need to budget and make sure in advance what exactly I can buy. So if I then find something discounted, I have saved money in that area, and then I can make the decision. Do I want to save that money and spend it on something else in the future when I have more money in? Or do I want to spend it now on something nice that I find in a store? That is again a priority that you have to make. So you have to, I think the main question you have to ask yourself is, what is a priority in your life? Are you willing to give up that coffee? Are you willing to buy a cheaper brand even though it's just as good as the other one? What are you willing to do to make your dreams come true, basically? Now, when I go shopping, I always, whenever I buy, within a month, I keep the receipt and I keep it in my wallet. Now, if you have to buy a lot of little things here and there, that's going to be a lot of receipts. So maybe you take it out of your wallet, but you keep it in a place so you can keep a track of your expenses for that month. Because one thing I do is I do the budget at the beginning of the month, so I know exactly what I can have for the whole month. And then at the end of the month, the very last day or the next day at the beginning of the next month, I will put everything I have actually spent into the computer. Like, you can do this by hand if you want to. I just prefer the computer. I put everything in there, and then I have a column, because I have one that says budget. Then I have another one that says what I actually spent, and then all of the little categories. And then I have another column I call for save, that's what I call it. And that would tell me what, according to the budget and what I actually spent, if I saved or if I didn't save. So sometimes it will be a minus mark and an amount, like minus $20, because that's what I went over budget. And then I will put that in red because it's a negative number and we don't want negative numbers. But then another column, it could say that I saved $20. So that's going to be a positive 20. So I just write 20. And then nothing else, everything else is the same. So at the very end, I calculate everything that I was supposed to spend for budgeting and what I actually spent. And then at the end, you will see that even though I did go $20 over on one area, I did go $20 less on another area. So in the end, I saved 0 and I lost 0. It zeroes out. And that is what you want. You either want to go in a positive balance or you want to zero out. 0 means that you did exactly what your budget told you to do. And you spent exactly that. You didn't go above, you didn't go below. But if you get it in a positive number at the very end, that means you spend less than you put your budget to, and that money that you have in the positive savings on the side, that is exactly what you can put into savings so that you can either buy then and there, if you can afford it, the thing that you want, or you can save for a trip or an experience or something else you want to buy. Sometimes you don't save a lot of money and other times you can save a lot actually. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example of what the budget system would look like. So it will look like this. So you have your different categories at the end. So you have food, shopping, miscellaneous, health. I didn't add the bills, but you add it down the line. And then at the very top, you have something that says budget. I just shortened it to bud. And then you have something actual. I shortened it to act. And then saved at the very end. Now at the very bottom, we have something that is known as the total. That is your total amount for the whole month. So I'm just going to add some numbers in here so that you can visually see that this budgeting method I can't speak, that this budgeting method actually gives you a complete overview of all of your expenses in a very simple way. So I'm just going to write something. So you can say I spent like $320 for food, and then for shopping I spent $30. Well, okay, let's say I'm gonna spend $320 for food. I'm gonna spend $30 for shopping. This is budget parts, by the way. And then miscellaneous, I want to say $50. And then for health, I want to say, I'm giving round numbers just because it's easier to count. Let's say for health, medicine, all of that, we can put $70. Let's say that. And that is 50, 400, 470. That is your budget. So now my budget for food would be $320. These are make-believe numbers, by the way. And then shopping would be $30, miscellaneous would be $50, health would be $70, you know, and so on. So in a total, that's $470. That's $470. So now I'm going to be putting in what I actually spent in comparison. So I want to say that I was good. I saved, so I spent $300 on food, but I spent $40 on shopping. I spent $50 on miscellaneous, the same. But for health, it turned out I actually spent $60. So that means now that instead of spending $320 on food, I managed to spend $300. Let's say that's the scenario. And then, but for shopping, I ended up going $10 above than the $30 that I put in my budget. So that means I'm above. That means I'm in minus. For now, in that category, I'm in minus. But for food, I am in positive, so that's good. For miscellaneous, it turns out I spent exactly what I thought I was going to spend. For health, I spent a little less than what I thought, but only $10. So I'm going to add that up and see what that ends. 30, 50, that's 100, 450. So that's 450 instead of 470. That is $20 saved. That means for my saved column, I saved 20 on food, but I spent $10 more on shopping, so that's a minus 10. And then I spent the exact amount I thought I would on the miscellaneous, but on health I just ended up saving $10. So in the end, I saved $20. Now these are obviously make-believe numbers, but that means those $20 I can either spend right now, or I can put it into savings and it could add up to something in the future. So you have your list, you have your budget, you have your actual, and you have your saved column. So I call it saved column because I want a positive mindset, thinking that I am gonna save, but sometimes it's gonna be a minus mark like I have right here, because I ended up having to spend more than I thought I would. The $20 that we did end up saving in the end, that is a great little sum. It's not like a lot, but it's something. So if you can manage to save even $5, even $20, even any sum you can save from each month, it's actually gonna add up. Now, it's not gonna be something like miraculous and you're gonna be a billionaire tomorrow. But when you have absolutely nothing to spare in your budget and you find tiny holes like this, and you find out, you find tiny holes like this, and you find things that are on sale or on clearance or anything like that that you do need, and you buy it, that is going to end up saving you a little bit of money. So with this $20, like I said, I can spend it now or I can save it. Now, I would choose to save it just because I have a few things in mind that I want to buy, and they cost more than $20. And that's the thing. Most things in life are going to cost more than $20. But I did save that $20 that I can use in the future. It might take, like, that's the thing. Everybody thinks like, oh, I need to save like this and I need to afford that right now. And there are things that we need to afford right now. And I get that. Things happen, we need things, all of that. But for the things that we want, but we don't necessarily need, this is a great start. Because imagine you went from having zero money to having $20. Imagine that, $20. To the rest of the world, those $20 may not be a lot, but to you, those $20 are everything, because that is the beginning, the continuation, and to get you to your goal and what you want in life. So never be ashamed that maybe 1 month you only saved $1, but you saved $1. Never be ashamed of that. Be happy that you managed to save that much. And I know so many people are talking in high sums and all of that, but like, be happy in the little. So the thing is, it doesn't matter how much you save each month, as long as you save something, you are gonna get closer and closer and closer to your goal. And the thing is, you don't want to give up. And I know there's gonna be temptations along the way, like maybe a new movie comes out or something else new comes out, or maybe somebody's pulling you, please, let's go here or let's go there. And it's okay to say no. It is okay to say no, because it is important to prioritize things. So you have to ask yourself the question, the new movie that I want to see in theaters, is that more important than the goal that I have? You have to check with yourself. What is more important? If the movie is more important, then that is your new goal. But if it's not more important than your goal, then it's not as important and you can skip it. You can watch it online later on a streaming service or buy it on DVD when it's on sale. Doesn't matter. But so you have to ask yourself as you go along and you see something else that you want, or you see another experience you want to partake in, and you just ask yourself, is it more important than my current goal? If so, then that's your new goal. But if it's not, but it's still something you want to do, that becomes another thing on your goal list. That's what I have. I have a goal list. So I have things that I want or I want to experience. So I have them on a list and they're not in any particular order. I will read through them and I will pick the ones that stands out the most to me. That is my new priority because that's the one that I feel I want the most at the time. And once I have achieved that goal, then I pick off the list the next thing that stands out, and that I make that my goal, and then until I have achieved that. So, but along the way of me meeting my goals, I am finding other goals and I put it on that list if it's not more important than my current goal. And I think it's important to have that mindset that it's okay to have a goal and then add a new one to your list, so that next time you go on to pick a goal that you want to save money towards, you can pick either the absolutely new thing on your list or you can pick the oldest thing that has been on your list forever. That depends on what is a priority in your life. I know I say priority a lot, but it is true. So you just need to check in with yourself periodically and be like, what is most important? That is how you actually get through the budgeting process, and that's how you get to actually save money to what you want in life, basically. I kind of feel like I'm all over the place. Does any of this even make sense to you guys? Please let me know. I think we covered all of it, so if you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment, and if you want more content like this, then please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!